Today we're celebrating the celebration of Saint Joseph the Worker. And people took offense at Jesus in the gospel today because he was the son of Joseph the Worker. Joseph the common tecton. Joseph, from what we were told when we were just now in the Holy Land from our guide, that he would have known a bit about everything as far as stonemasonry, anything to do with kind of the basics, with any building with stone, wood, probably from the olive tree, which you can still get today, little wooden trinkets and carveries from olive trees, and shepherding. As a young boy, he would have known the basics of shepherding as well as any normal young lad growing up. So he's just the local tecton, and they said they were scandalized with him because on one end he is doing many amazing deeds, Jesus, and he has wisdom that they've never seen before. No one's ever spoken like this. And the problem is, though, that he is the carpenter's son. And somehow that leads to them taking offense at him. And Jesus is no longer able to work any mighty deeds in their presence because they couldn't get past that for some reason. They couldn't just maybe start pulling strings and making connections. They couldn't get past it. So he stopped doing his mighty deeds there. And you can kind of flip the same question to Joseph and Mary, because of anybody, Joseph and Mary knew where this wisdom came from. They knew where these mighty deeds could have come from. And they could have asked themselves, why is he so normal? Isn't he the Son of God? It could have easily been flipped. Why is Jesus such a normal human being? And that could have been a continuous question when he was babbling. How come he doesn't have such great wisdom? How come he doesn't know how to speak? When he didn't know how to walk, when they were probably teaching him how to walk, how come he doesn't know how to walk? Isn't he not? He's obviously the Son of the Most High. They both knew that. They both knew it as a fact. How come maybe even Joseph's there, like one-on-one, and they could have been doing anything that had to do with his trade. And Joseph, this could have been going through his head. How come he's not, if he's the Son of God? But it didn't lead them to take offense, obviously. It led them to increase their faith. And they increased their faith in what would become known as the hidden life. When God becomes man and he chooses to live a hidden life for around 30 years, starting with him learning to speak, to walk, to work, to pray. Did he get sick? Did he get the common cold? Like you could go into the hidden life for ages and just kind of go through the mystery, because it was a hidden life without great deeds and without anything extraordinary. And instead of taking offense at it, their faith grew. Both of their faith grew. We know that from Mary, when it says that Mary would see it and then she would ponder it in her heart, which means that she could have had the question, she could have not have understood it 100%, but she didn't use it as a rejection. It kind of made her ponder even more, go deeper into this mystery. And with Joseph, from what we know as well, we obviously know that he didn't abandon ship. He is the patron saint of holy deaths, because we believe that he lived the hidden life and he died with Mary and Jesus at his side, which is the best way you can imagine possibly dying. So it's a lesson for us as well, because especially coming in and we're in the middle of Easter season, and it's the celebration of Joseph the Worker, which is just such a common. It's very a common thing, because it's the worker. It's like the everyday routine normality, normal. And it's us deepening our faith in the mystery that doesn't manifest itself in any great spectacular event, but it is always before us, and it's always in front of us, as it was for Joseph. And it is in this Easter season when we're reading about massive, Christian prodigies, when the first Christians are doing like unbelievable things. Jesus himself is saying it to them, like, I'm going to be a co-worker with you. That's what he says. He says, I'm going to collaborate with you. Jesus collaborated with the apostles and the first Christians. He worked with them. So like when you were seeing them do miracles, it's Jesus working the miracle through them. They're both working together. And then you have this smack dab in the middle, the simplicity. Just to kind of get that we don't take offense maybe that we're not working miracles, or that, Jesus isn't collaborating with us in the way we'd like to, but to deepen our faith and not offend him. Offend him by being offended at the simplicity. That's the problem. And don't offend God to the point where he can't do anything more and he has to leave because the faith has been so shrunken. Rather, use the routine and use the normality to deepen your faith and to know that Jesus, God, is closer to you than you think. He's living within you, and that's where the faith has to be deepened, and we have to delve more and more into that mystery. So through his intercession, may it be so. Amen.